6 months ago, I made a video about how to build with Google's AI Studio. You could prototype an app, but it didn't have full backend functionality built in. If you wanted user authentication, if you wanted to publish it, you had to go off of AI Studio and take your code somewhere else. That's now changed. Google has quietly shipped something called the starter tier for Google's AI Studio. This gives you Firebase Authentication, managed databases, and the ability to publish all without a credit card. This is the video I wish I could have released 6 months ago. By the end of this video, you'll learn how to create a full stack app using Google's AI Studio, connect it to a real database, add user authentication, and publish it on a URL that anyone can access, all starting from one prompt and all for free. If that sounds good, let's get into it. First, go to Google's AI Studio or just type in ai.dev in your browser and that'll take you to Google's AI Studio. From there, on the left side, go to Build and click New App. And if you've used something like Lovable or Base44 before, this is going to feel familiar. The big difference is that this is Google's own platform, so you're able to use Google's coding models and have access to Google AI models inside of the apps that you're building, like Gemini, and it has that starter tier that I mentioned. So you're building inside of Google's ecosystem here. So here's the prompt that I'm sending off: to build a habit tracker app with today's habits, a weekly view, and a progress chart using a modern minimal design. So we're going to send off that prompt. And of course, you can build whatever type of app that you want. You can also discover and remix apps as well, which is a pretty cool feature that AI Studio has. Now watch this. Gemini will reason through what it needs to build. Then it starts generating the code file by file. You can see the reasoning on the left side if you're curious about what it's doing. We can also see it's giving us design previews to see what we like, and we can switch through a few different options. I really like this feature of AI Studio. Let's go with professional polish. So I'm going to select this design. One thing to know, the first version uses sample data. That's intentional. We want to get the app looking right and seeing what it looks like with real data before we add the backend database. So there we go. We have a dashboard now to experiment with and play around with to see if we like it, if we want to make any changes to it. But I think the design actually looks pretty good. It's not bad at all for just a one-sentence prompt. But let me know in the comments what you think of this design, especially compared to other tools you might have seen or other AI app builders. All right, so here's where it gets interesting. In my past video, I would have had to take what we've built here, connect to GitHub, get it into Cloud Code, connect Supabase, go to Vercel, and add all of these additional tools to add authentication, backend database, and publishing. And the whole thing turned into a 30-minute video. Now watch this. I'm just going to ask AI Studio to add a database and authentication directly, and let's see what happens. So it's just asking us to enable Firebase Firestore. I'm going to click accept. So what's happening here is Google is provisioning a fully managed project behind the scenes. It's setting up Cloud Firestore for the database and Firebase Authentication for user authentication. I didn't have to go into Firebase and set all of this up. Google is handling it for me inside of the AI Studio. And this is super powerful and so much better than it used to be. And also, so far, it has been 100% free. And we can see here that AI Studio is editing these files and it's creating everything that we need: add authentication and the database. So it finished. It says that it added Firebase Authentication. It also added an instant guest demo mode for zero friction. It added a permanent Firestore database sync. When logged in, your personal rituals are automatically queried and stored. And it added a visitor mode and local migration. So when visiting without logging in, habits are cached locally. And then when signing in for the first time, it gets saved and migrated to the cloud database account. That's a really smart feature that it added. Okay, very, very cool. So you can see we're currently in visitor mode, but it has kind of this sample data. If we click sign in, create account, you can click continue as guest with instant demo, or we can sign up with our email here. And the other thing I want to do is publish the app. So I'm going to go to the top right, publish, and we're going to click get started and publish the app quickly. And this is going to give us a URL that anyone on the internet access. So here we have our own URL here. I'm going to click on it. So this is a URL that is accessible by anyone on the internet. So now let's try creating an account. So I'm going to sign up. So it actually says authentication failed. And this is where a lot of people might get stuck or give up, but I'm going to show you exactly how we debug this and fix this in AI Studio. So I'm going to tell AI Studio exactly what happened. And this is what's helpful. Instead of just saying it didn't work, that's where you can really get stuck. You want to describe exactly what happened and what you did to get the error. So when I try to create an account, I enter my email and password, but I get the error, authentication failed, please try again. So I want to tell it exactly what happened. So we're going to try again, enter in. So now we're getting a new error. Email sign-in is not enabled in your Firebase console. So we could do that, or it says, please click continue with Google to sign in just through Google. So let's try that instead of doing the setup through Firebase. Also going to go ahead and republish the app. So when you make changes, but in the development interface, we need to republish it so that the public URL has those changes. So we'll try this out, click continue with Google, and it worked perfectly. We have user authentication through Google set up. And if you want to add that email password, you can do that through the Firebase portal and just enable that feature. I wish they made it a little bit more straightforward or started only with Google login, because that could be a little bit confusing. But I do like that it had a good error message to explain what happened, but it did require me going into the AI chat to debug that. So I do think they could improve that slightly, I will say. But it still worked, and it was only a little bit of debugging to make that. So now I'm logged in. I do also wish that when I'm logged in, it didn't have the demo data still. But let me add a new habit. So I added that habit, read 15 minutes. This is on my account that I'm logged into. And if I refresh the page, it's still showing here on the bottom as read 15 minutes. And this is my account. If we sign out, that read 15 minutes is no longer going to be there, because now we're just with the dummy data. So the next step would be to basically tell the AI, get rid of all the dummy data for people that log in. So everything is their own data. I think what's happening is it's migrating all the sample data into our user database, because it has that feature to say, okay, when they start using it, if they're logged out, when they create an account, add that all to their account. So there would be some work that we could do to make it so that doesn't happen. But we have a full stack application built for free with Google right now, with a backend database, user authentication, and publishing. So 6 months ago, you would have had to connect Supabase, Vercel, all of this to make this happen through AI Studio. But now it's all done in one platform, which is a big shift, especially if you're looking for a free AI app builder to get started with. One question a lot of people might have with AI Studio is, can you export the code? So are you logged into the platform? You can sync to GitHub to get all of your code off of AI Studio, and you could continue building in something like Claude Code or Codex if you want. So that's a really great feature that you have. You're not locked in at all to AI Studio. But if you do use their backend database and authentication setup, you are going to start being a little bit locked into the Google ecosystem. And that is what they want. That's why they make this free. You're not fully locked in. You can always switch when you leave AI Studio and start building in Codex or Claude Code, but you're more likely going to stay with their ecosystem if you started here. So that's, again, the reason that they offer this for free. So if you're a beginner, you want to go from idea to deployed app for free with the fewest steps possible. AI Studio is now hard to beat, especially with that free tier. If you're more technical and you want more control, it still can be a good place to get started, build your prototype, and then sync to GitHub and keep building in Claude Code or Codex. And that's something that I've done in the past using AI Studio. If you want to learn more about how to build apps with AI tools like this one, Claude Code, Lovable, and more, check out our channel, subscribe for free to get more in-depth videos. We're releasing videos every single week to keep you updated, because the AI world is changing so quickly. You can also click the link in our description, subscribe to our free 2-minute brief for AI builders. We send it out every single morning. I read it every morning because it covers everything that I need to know as an AI builder, all the new models. Right here, we can see this was this morning, all the new models that are released, all the new features that are released. I genuinely read this and find it helpful. And if you're watching this video, you will find it helpful too. So click the link in the description and subscribe for free. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment if you have anything you want to share, anything you'd want to see in future videos, let me know. And I'll see you in the next video.